The House Select Committee investigating the deadly attack on the Capitol last year, getting ready for a prime-time hearing tonight. We're going to have a look at what we can expect from tonight's testimony.
Plus, we're going backstage at the newest musical performance at the Public Theater of San Antonio. We're going to have that story coming up a little bit later on in the newscast.
And the good news will be a couple of degrees cooler this afternoon, but the bad news, it's still going to be very hot.
Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
And good morning to you. It is Thursday. It is July 21st, and I think Justin would agree having some morning clouds around does not hurt us at this point.
Yeah, we'll take anything we can to help, and we'll be checking with him in a little bit. But for now, let's look at today's 9 at 9. A federal grand jury has indicted 2 men charged in the June migrant tragedy in San Antonio. 46-year-old Homero Zamorano Jr. and 28-year-old Christian Martinez are facing human smuggling charges. One count involved death, the other serious injury. Both suspects are still in federal custody being held without bond. A trial date has not been set.
The January 6th House Select Committee's primetime hearing tonight is expected to be a dramatic 3-hour case detailing minute by minute what former President Donald Trump did the day of the insurrection. Sources told ABC News that outtakes of the video Trump made the day after the Capitol riot could be released. They reportedly tell a different story than the one White House aides wanted to convey.
Prosecutors rested their case against Steve Bannon yesterday on the 3rd day of his trial. They stayed with the approach of keeping things simple and straightforward for the jury. Yesterday's testimony largely relied on the letters between the House Select Committee investigating the Capitol attack and Bannon. That paper trail seemed to boost prosecutors' case against Bannon. The trial continues today.
A bill to protect same-sex marriage nationwide is hitting a speed bump. It passed the House, but it's unclear if enough Republican senators would support it to overcome a filibuster. 4 Republican senators told CNN they'd vote for the bill. 8 said they'd oppose it, and 16 said they were undecided. The rest did not respond by the deadline given.
President Biden announced new executive actions to address the extreme heat wave much of the country is dealing with. It includes $2.3 billion for stronger infrastructure to withstand climate change. As he faces opposition in Congress, the president is now considering a national emergency declaration to free up more funding to tackle the issue.
200,000 people have died from COVID-19 so far this year. This comes as health experts continue to warn about the dangers of the Omicron subvariant BA.5. The CDC says it's more transmissible than previous strains. According to Johns Hopkins University, more than 1.25 million people in the U.S. have died from COVID since the start of the pandemic.
Americans will have access to more monkeypox vaccines, but experts say it's still not enough for everyone who is eligible to receive one. The CDC says all states have now received at least some vaccine. As of yesterday, Metro Health reported the number of people infected here in Bexar County remains at 5.
The head of the FDA says baby formula production is now exceeding consumer demand, but he said even though there's now a, quote, robust pipeline of formula coming in, the shortages will continue to take some time to fix. However, he did not give an updated timeline on when the shortages would be resolved.
Home sales are sliding again. The National Association of Realtors say existing home sales fell 5.4% in June compared to the month before. That was the 5th straight month of declining sales, but home prices are still going up. The national median hitting $416,000, up more than 13% compared to a year ago. And that's today's 9 at 9.
Outside with Live Cam, back to the clouds, and Justin Horn joins us now. And the clouds help us because
keeps temperatures down for at least a little bit, and these clouds are fairly thick, and I think they're going to stick around for maybe another hour or so. So this is good. Maybe we'll lose a couple degrees off that daytime high yesterday, which was 104, another record. We just keep breaking records left and right. 101 in Kerrville yesterday, 104 in New Braunfels, 103 Gonzales, 106 in Carrizo Springs. It was 109 in Cotulla yesterday. We now have tied 2013 for most triple-digit days, 3rd place, and we'll likely move above that today on our way to 2nd or 1st place eventually a little bit later this summer. This is the way things are going, but we just keep adding those triple-digit days. Another record broken this morning, a record warm low temperature. We only got down to 80 this morning. which breaks the record. And temperatures right now are at 82 degrees. Feels like 87 at the airport, 79. Bernie feels like 82. Heat index in Gonzales is 95. Your KSAT 12-hour forecast by, I'd say, noontime will be mostly sunny, and then temperatures do start to warm up. 102 this afternoon. It'll feel like 106 with some gusty southeasterly winds anywhere from 10 to 15. And those winds stay gusty into tonight, with temperatures probably where they are right now, low 80s by tomorrow morning. It's not much of a cool down. There is a glimmer of hope as we get into the middle part of next week. We'll explain that coming up in just a few minutes. But let's go over to Stephen now with a look at traffic this morning. Good morning, sir.
I love glimmers. All right, let's get a look here at US 90 at Montgomery. I don't love this. All right, we talked about this earlier. I mentioned this during GMSA, the earlier edition, where we are going to be seeing some work taking place there. Barrier work in both directions at US 90 at Montgomery. But, of course, we know that this is going to be a big issue as we take a look now at that shot our friends at TransGuide were able to provide us. Not looking good there. We know that will be taking place throughout the day, at least up until 5 this afternoon, according to TxDOT. But don't forget, you can always head over to ksat.com/traffic to find any other area that you want to make sure you know where construction is happening at. But right now, it's just slow-moving traffic out there, and hopefully we'll see some better movement as the morning does progress. But for now, pack that patience. All right, let's go ahead and take you to the map, because we did have a crash here off Loop 1604 and Northwest Military Highway. You could see that there's a little bit of a buildup in the westbound lanes, and also seeing that in the eastbound lanes as well. This does appear that it's already cleared out, but we know that there's also some construction taking place there, so that is likely why we're seeing a buildup. Now let's give you that wide look at the map. A crash off of 410, that has already cleared. We're not worried about that, but you can see there, US 90, we're seeing that impact in the eastbound lane. So drivers, if you're coming in from Castroville, may want to look for those different routes. But back here, as we get one last drive around town, things aren't looking too bad. So some relief right there, guys.
Thank you, Stephen. In your morning headlines, the U.S. Army having a hard time bringing in new recruits, and a moon mission is about to be tested.
Plus, a documentary about a football star and his fake girlfriend is about to hit streaming, and you only thought the mullets were a thing of the past. David Sears is here without a mullet.
Never even had one.
Never, ever.
Never had a mullet.
Yeah,
remember the I called him a kid because he's like 27 years old, the young guy who just won the British Open.
Yeah.
He's got a mullet.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are starting to head that direction, even the little guys.
Yeah.
We'll have that for you in just a second. But first, seems to be fewer people want to be all they can be. At least they don't want to be all they can be in the Army. The Army saying they are not going to reach their recruitment goal. Over the next couple of years, they are going to be about 40,000 new troops short. They tell us there are several reasons. Unemployment is low. Fewer people are willing to serve. So like a lot of businesses, the Army is coming up with some financial incentives to attract more recruits, anywhere from $20,000 to $50,000 in signing bonuses. The Army also looking into the possibility of not requiring soldiers to have a high school diploma. It has been over 50 years since man first walked on the moon. NASA planning to put another man and woman on the moon. They have been working on a program called Artemis that they hope will accomplish that goal. They have designed a new kind of rocket. The first non-crewed test flight is planned for the end of August or early September. The test flight will launch from the Kennedy Space Center, circle the moon, and then splash back down to Earth. With the Artemis mission, NASA wants to land the first woman and person of color on the moon. And according to the NASA website, their goal is to be able to establish, quote, a sustainable presence on the moon to prepare for missions to Mars. And remember back in 2012, the story about Manti Te'o, a football player at Notre Dame who had a fake girlfriend that died? Oh, you knew this was coming. Netflix making a two-part documentary out of his story. Te'o, who was having a Heisman-type season as a linebacker for the Fighting Irish, told the media at the time that his girlfriend died of leukemia. Turns out the girl was an internet creation and didn't exist. Of course, the story goes a lot deeper than that. Despite the deception, Te'o went on to have an 8-year career in the NFL. The documentary will be released on Netflix coming up August 16th. And just when you thought the mullet was something we left behind back in the 80s, remember Billy Ray Cyrus and Blake Shelton, short in the front and sides, long in the back? Ah, no, the mullet is back. But now the kids are loud and proud with their mullets. There are even little kid contests on the best mullets. But at least they're growing them for a good cause. It is a serious competition. The best or worst, depending on how you want to look at it, mullet can win you some money. There is a contest called the USA Mullet Championships Kids Division. The prize, $2,500. There are 675 kids with mullets that have entered. 6-year-old Lincoln Prater is in the contest. He's been growing that look for a couple of years, so that's like half his life. If he wins, he knows where the money is going. He's going to donate it to the families impacted by the Tops supermarket shooting.
I think it's really important that we talk about, racism and just loving everybody for who they are, loving everyone no matter what.
Great idea, great thought, and this mullet it's all right. It's getting there.
Yeah, it is.
It's getting there. Yeah. You can vote for your favorite mullet on the USA Mullet Championships Facebook page. If you missed out on this year's competition, don't worry. There's one next year, too. So start growing that mullet now.
You know how some people post pictures on Throwback Thursday online, including Facebook? Yeah. One of the ones that blew me away recently, and maybe in the last couple months, Sheriff Javier Salazar posting a picture of him with a mullet back in the day.
Oh, so my goodness.
It's on his KSAT, not KSAT, he doesn't have KSAT page. On his Sheriff Javier Salazar Facebook
I'll have
page.
to check it out.
Did you have a mullet?
No, I did not. No.
Justin?
No. I did have longer hair, but no mullet.
No.
Well, and here's part of the reason why, and you'll identify with this, David Sears, Air Force father.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Definitely so.
Thank you, David Sears.
That was it. All right.
9:09, 82 degrees still ahead on GMSA at 9.
San Antonio Food Bank dealing with problems it encountered at the beginning of the pandemic. We're going to tell you how you can help.
Plus, the new Migrant Resource Center getting a lot of mixed reaction from residents and businesses nearby. We'll share how some community members are feeling, plus what the city is saying in response to their concerns. 9:13, there's a lot of mixed reaction about the new Migrant Resource Center off San Pedro, just south of North Star Mall here in San Antonio. It took over what used to be the CPS Energy Service Center.
Neighbors and nearby businesses say it caught them by surprise. And Jesse Degollado says those she spoke with wish it had been put elsewhere, but they understand why it's needed.
They're among the lucky ones, survivors of a treacherous journey escaping Venezuela and its dictator's grip. That's why I left, he says, looking for liberty. Along a busy commercial stretch of San Pedro, the city's Migrant Resource Center helps asylum seekers legally allowed in the U.S. to reach their destinations. It also gives them a place to stay while they wait for money from family members to continue on. Why, you may ask, are families out here and not inside the air-conditioned Migrant Resource Center?
Mucho frío allá, demasiado.
It's much too cold, says a Venezuelan father who doesn't want his children to get sick. They gather in the shade outside storefronts of a nearby retail center or leave the property. But by doing so,
kind of an eyesore, but what are you going to do, Protest, complain?
Earlier, in fact, McAdam had brought them food. A business owner who didn't want to be identified says he's had no problem with them. In fact,
they help unload the van. We give them a little bit of money. That's all they're asking for. They're just hungry to work.
But when groups of them come into this wholesale embroidery shop,
they're just spending time and just killing time because there is nothing to do outside.
Hassan says it's not good for business. Eventually, he says they get the message and leave.
We never disrespect them. We always respect them, but we explain to them, this store is just for businesses and it's not for individuals.
He says the property management company has notified him and other business owners it's hiring security to ask anyone who is loitering to leave. Jesse Degollado, KSAT 12 News.
The city did release a statement in response to this situation saying, quote, for the safety of all, we ask that the community not leave donations at retail stores, parking lots, or in the area around the Migrant Resource Center. Likewise, we ask migrants not to congregate in retail or parking lots awaiting donations. If you are interested in assisting migrants, please donate through the San Antonio Food Bank or Catholic Charities, end quote.
Well, Justin's back with us now as we jump into the full forecast. And Justin, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that the drought is going from bad to worse.
Yes, each week it just keeps getting worse and worse. And Thursdays, of course, our Drought Monitor comes out and we look at the drought situation. Really pretty similar around here. I mean, not much change, but we did see the drought tick up just a little bit. And the state is getting into a pretty dire situation here, especially San Antonio and as you go west. A little closer look at our area, Floresville, Pleasanton, Hondo, Bandera, most of San Antonio at this point underneath that exceptional drought. That's as bad as it gets. And this area keeps expanding. That's what we don't want to see. The rain, any sort of rain, it would take a lot of it for us to get out of this drought at this point. And as we look at Medina Lake, 12% full. It's down 68 feet now, down 13 feet over the last 3 months. And you look at it, drops every single day. We're about to be at 11% full. So, yeah, some rain would be great. There's not a lot in the forecast as you look in the 7-day. There's maybe a small chance by next week. But since June 1st, we've only picked up 6,400 inches of rain. And that is about 5 inches below the average. Since January 1st, start of the year, 5.12 inches. We are now almost 13 inches below average. You look across the state, and this is the departure from average rainfall year to date. San Antonio has seen the biggest departure from average. We're about, again, 13 inches below average. All of the state below average except for the valley. And these numbers are growing by the day. So the drought is really, really starting to kick in here. Time lapse shows we did get some clouds this morning. And these clouds starting to scatter out some, but a little thicker than yesterday. And as we said earlier, that does help some with temperatures. 82 degrees at the airport. South-southeasterly winds at about 13. There's a look at the cloud cover. And yeah, it's a little thicker, covering more real estate this morning. Certainly cloudy as you get down towards Hondo, Carrizo Springs, and Uvalde. And we've got mostly cloudy skies here around San Antonio. A few breaks, but it'll take some more time before these clouds completely scatter out. 81 degrees in Boulevardy. It's 84 in New Braunfels, 82 Stinson and Dew Points. Like yesterday, elevated into the mid-70s. That makes it so sticky out there, and it creates that heat index. Feels like 87 degrees at the airport right now. Feels like 91 already in New Braunfels, and feels like 89 down there at Stinson. Heat index forecast today. We're going to see that heat index anywhere from about 102 to 104 during the afternoon. Humidity levels try to come down some, but again, not enough. And with the heat indices the way they are, it's going to be sort of another tough afternoon to be outside. 91 degrees by noontime. We start to lose some of those clouds. 99 by 3 o'clock, 101 by 4 p.m., 102 by 5 p.m., and then some 90s as we get into this evening. So let's look ahead here. Well, very quickly, I do want to mention this. 41 days now at 100 degrees or above. That ties for third place. We're moving up the list. And here is the forecast. And I mentioned that glimmer of hope. Well, here's why. So our high pressure, it starts to kind of split a little bit, and then the eastern side takes over and scoots east. You'll notice the flow here is kind of off the Gulf of Mexico by Wednesday. If we can get some disturbances coming in from the Gulf of Mexico and at least a little bit of moisture, that could help create a shower or two by Wednesday. But look, at this point, it's a 10% chance. That's all we can give you. But at least it is something, and it's a little bit of a pattern change that may indicate there's some hope there past this 7-day forecast. But in the meantime, lots of triple digits. And tomorrow and Saturday, a little bit more cloud cover, so that may bring temperatures down to around 100 versus 102, 103, where we have been, guys.
All right, Justin, thank you very much. By the way, I found the picture of Sheriff Salazar's mullet, and I just posted it on my KSAT Facebook page. Hope you don't mind, Sheriff. You posted it earlier this month.
You're going to get a phone call.
Just don't pull me over.
No.
9:19, summertime already a busy time for the San Antonio Food Bank, but now with inflation, they are getting stretched thin.
And Patty Santos shows us the influx of need the food bank is seeing right now, which is getting close to the same level they saw during the start of the pandemic.
Going to the grocery store and spending $100 a week, that's $400 a month.
We've all seen it. Money isn't going as far, and families are forced to find ways to make ends meet.
I just make sure to get what I need and not purchase.
I do know people close to me that do go to the food bank, just for bare necessities.
Volunteers at the San Antonio Food Bank are filling trunks of cars with boxes of food, milk, and fruits to help nourish families.
And it's directly related to this economic impact of inflation.
Eric Cooper is the food bank's president and CEO. Summers are already busy since kids are out of school and families are serving more meals at home. Add to that inflation that stretched families past their limit.
We typically see about 90,000 people a week. That number has now gone over 100,000 people a week looking for food.
To put that into perspective, during the pandemic shutdown, the food bank served 120,000 people a week. Many of those people couldn't work. This time, many do have jobs. They're just not making enough.
They can't afford to put food on the table and pay their utility bills, and so they're coming to us.
Inflation is also leading to another challenge at the food bank. There's less food on the shelves.
The supply chain is still disrupted. our costs for transportation and logistics have gone up, and to be honest, there's less food that we're able to source in this environment.
But the food bank is not giving up.
We'll be able to do what we can to make sure those needs are met. So families, please, if you're struggling, reach out to the food bank.
Patty Santos, KSAT 12 News.
And if you'd like to volunteer at the food bank or make a donation, you can contact them at 210-337-3663, or you can visit them online at safoodbank.org.
921, 82 degrees.
And coming up next, more details about tonight's primetime hearing on the deadly Capitol attack.
Just about 9:25 tonight, we're expected to learn more about former President Trump's frame of mind during the Capitol insurrection, including what he allegedly did not want to say in the speech he delivered the day after.
The hearing is going to begin at 7 p.m. and you can watch it right here on KSAT 12. ABC's M. Wynn explains what else we can expect from tonight's hearing and when the panel plans to release an interim report.
Under scrutiny in tonight's primetime January 6 House Select Committee hearing. The 187 minutes, the panel says, then President Donald Trump refused to call off a violent attack by his mob of supporters at the U.S. Capitol.
So the American public need to know exactly what was happening.
The next day, Trump released a 3-minute pre-recorded message to condemn the attack.
A new administration will be inaugurated on January 20th.
But behind the scenes, a different story. ABC News learning the committee is expected to show some of the outtakes they obtained from that pre-recorded message, showing a president struggling to say the election was over and to condemn rioters, according to sources.
We have just been through an intense election and emotions are high, but now tempers must be cooled and calm restored.
The president, sources say, only taped the message under immense pressure from aides, advising him to do so to end any discussions about the 25th Amendment, which is used to replace a president. Tonight's hearing also comes as the Secret Service says it was only able to recover a single text exchange from January 5th and 6th after the committee subpoenaed the agency. Any other messages, the Secret Service says, were deleted during a device upgrade on January 27th.
6 committee chairmen sent a letter on the 16th of January saying preserve everything.
Officials now saying this could be a violation of the Federal Records Act. The committee also expecting to hear from Trump's former White House counsel and to call 2 former aides to testify, Deputy White House Press Secretary Sarah Matthews and Deputy National Security Advisor Matt Pottinger. Both resigned after January 6th. Former President Trump has called the committee's investigation rigged and one-sided. The panel says it plans to have an interim report out by September. M. Wynn, ABC News, Washington.
And we have some breaking news we want to pass along to you. The White House now says that President Biden has tested positive for COVID, but is experiencing very mild symptoms.
And we'll have more on this at the news at noon. For now, it's 9:27 and 82 degrees. There's still more ahead on GMSA at 9. Including how many districts in our area are dealing with a shortage of teachers.
And the latest on the murder trial involving a man accused of running over and killing his ex-wife. He's accused of using his truck to run over and kill his ex-wife. Yesterday, during a taped interrogation played before the jury, David Estrada told police his ex-wife should have gotten out of the way. Our Dylan Collier takes us through an emotional day 3 of testimony in this murder trial.
David James Estrada spent much of the morning crying. The older sister of Dominga Pesqueda testifying that just 2 weeks before Estrada was accused of running down her youngest sibling on a Southwest Side street in September 2020, he repeatedly punched her outside a family birthday party.
He just swung at her and started hitting her.
What was he hitting her with?
His fist.
The forensic pathologist who performed the autopsy after Pesqueda's death testified about the victim's significant leg injuries, including critical blood vessels that were severed.
The cause of death is blunt force injuries. The manner of death is homicide.
After a break for lunch, Estrada's interrogation video was played for the jury. San Antonio Police homicide detective Juan Espinoza confirming Estrada was stuck on his story that someone else had run down his wife until investigators presented him photos showing damage to his truck and the presence of blood. Estrada then admitted he had driven his truck at his wife.
And then he tried to kind of blame her for not jumping out of the way, like she should have known.
Dylan Collier, KSAT 12 News.
Now, Estrada, over here, Estrada, who is free on bond while his trial takes place, faces up to 99 years in prison if convicted. Right now, closing arguments are taking place. We'll have the latest on the trial coming up in our later newscasts.
And other top stories today, the calls to strip Uvalde School District Police Chief Pete Arredondo of his title are growing. The school board is holding a special meeting on Saturday to discuss that possibility. John Paul Barajas was in Uvalde all day yesterday, speaking with people there and tried to track down school officials for comment.
Why do you think it took the school district so long to actually consider firing Pete?
Because they got on their
Nearly 2 months after the deadliest school shooting in Texas, the Uvalde Consolidated Independent School District School Board announced it'll consider stripping District Police Chief Pete Arredondo of his title in a special meeting Saturday. Arredondo has been on administrative leave since June 22nd. Uvalde resident Marina Camacho says she isn't satisfied.
They knew since the beginning that he had messed up. They should have done that a long time ago. A very long time ago.
District officials heard from parents during a more than 3-hour-long school board meeting Monday night.
This isn't the end. This is just the beginning of a war that you guys created.
Making it clear they want Arredondo out. They even threatened to remove Superintendent Hal Harrell of his job if it didn't happen. The Associated Press reports Harrell recommended firing Arredondo the next day. A man who tells us he's a second cousin of Arredondo's had this to say.
I think Pete should resign. He should resign by himself. You know, it's only fair for the school system, you know, and for the people.
Coming from his own family member, even though it's distant, why do you think you feel that way?
Well, I'm being honest about it.
We tried getting comment from school officials after their closed safety and security meeting. The few we were able to catch didn't stop.
It's always going to be in his conscience. I can't sleep. I hope him and everybody else that got involved can't sleep either.
Be a man, you know, be a man and resign, you know.
In Uvalde, John Paul Barajas, KSAT 12 News.
In the wake of the shooting at Robb Elementary, some of the teacher vacancies a lot of districts are seeing are due to security concerns. Others are concerned about pay, but there are still teachers eager to step into classrooms this fall.
Camelia Juarez spoke to teachers at a job fair yesterday and shares their perspectives on what they're focused on for the new school year, even as we're learning more about the Uvalde tragedy.
It gives me a purpose.
Eliana Garcia will be a first-time music teacher for San Antonio ISD this fall.
If I can get even one kid to just be super excited about music, that's I've done my job.
Join ABC's special coverage.
Vaccinated. He has had 2 boosters, but as we've been talking about for a couple weeks now, the spread of COVID taking off across the country, numerous states reporting a rise in COVID cases. And now we are learning the President of the United States has tested positive for COVID-19. We just received this statement from the White House, and this is what I can tell you so far, that he is experiencing very mild symptoms, according to the White House. He has been isolated. He does plan to continue to carry out all his duties fully at this time. He has been in contact with members of the White House staff by phone this morning. He has been making calls to those that he traveled with this week, specifically when he gave his speech on climate change. He had various aides with him. His press secretary, Corinne Jean-Pierre, of course, was with him. In addition to his deputy chief of staff, Bruce Reed, also Gina McCarthy, National Climate Advisor. They have been notified that he has tested positive. Do not have word yet on the First Lady and where that stands, but we can tell you he is also taking the antiviral Paxlovid. This has proven to be very effective when you have taken this antiviral, when you find out that you have tested positive. So he is taking that. We are told that he does plan to participate in all planned meetings and work in isolation there at the White House. Dr. Jen Ashton joining me now as we receive this news that the President of the United States has tested positive for COVID-19. So, Jen, really no surprise. I mean, we have been talking now for a couple weeks on how COVID has been spreading. And for a number of years, a number of us have been lucky that we haven't tested positive, but now have. And now the president testing positive for COVID.
Right, Kara. And to be honest, so many people, just when you talk about President Biden, are surprised that he's been able to avoid this for so long. But we have to look at his medical condition and who he is, and then what we know about this virus and how COVID behaves. As we know, he is 79 years old. His last presidential physical evaluation was done in November of 2021. He got very high marks from his personal physician, but we do know that he has some basic medical conditions, atrial fibrillation, some high cholesterol, some gastrointestinal reflux. None of those really put someone at particularly high risk, but his highest risk factor, Kira, is his age. And so that is why, as you mentioned, no surprise that he's being treated with the antiviral pill Paxlovid. It's been shown in clinical trials to be 89% effective in reducing the risk of severe COVID-19 illness, meaning hospitalization or death. But I want to be crystal clear, he is going to be closely monitored at the White House by the personal physician of the president. And if anything looks like it is going in the wrong direction, I absolutely expect that he would be hospitalized. If nothing else, then for more close observation. But remember, the White House is not like your home or my home. They can do a lot of medical monitoring and observation and testing right there at the White House.
Sure, and we saw that with former President Donald Trump immediately, and the medical response there. And now, considering the president's age and his underlying conditions, no doubt he will be monitored minute by minute. And he says he's going to continue on with his daily duties. Jen, just for a moment, can we talk about the antiviral? Because, you know, we have reported here on ABC that there have been a number of people.
All right, ABC special coverage right now of the president testing positive for COVID-19. Look for more on the president's condition coming up in our later newscast online at KSAT.com.
And for now, let's go outside with live cam. We are at 82 degrees right now. Things are warming up slowly, but those clouds are certainly helping.
Still cloudy, and that's a good thing. The longer those clouds hang around, the lower temperatures will be, at least in the short term. We're sitting at 82 degrees. Yesterday was another blazing hot day across the state of Texas. Record set all over the place. Dallas, Abilene, Midland, El Paso, Del Rio, Laredo, here in San Antonio. The list goes on. You see Wichita Falls got up to 111. That was just shy of their 112 record. It will be cooler across North Texas today. They've got some clouds and rain up there that will help bring temperatures down, but not for us. 82 degrees at the airport, mostly cloudy. Feels like 87 with a dew point of 73. Pollen count, multiple low at 350. So far, we haven't had a whole lot of issues with allergens. And the forecast temperatures later today, 102 here in San Antonio. Notice there will be some slightly cooler numbers as you get into the hill country. 96 in Bernie, 99 Canyon Lake, but triple digits for the rest of us and more triple digits in the forecast. We'll talk a little bit about some dust in the atmosphere and also look ahead to next week, which does bring maybe a small chance for rain. That forecast in just a few minutes.
Justin, thank you. 9:41, 82 degrees.
You're watching GMSA at 9, and we'll be right back.
9:44, a passionate and otherworldly love story is being performed right here in San Antonio.
The Public Theater of San Antonio is performing the musical Once on the Island, and we got to go backstage with the cast and the director.
Producer Alexis Page has more.
The Public Theater is going to the Caribbean for the summer production of Once on This Island.
It's a story within a story. So you have this girl who is washed up onto the shore of this island, and where she's come from, she just experienced so much disaster, literally a hurricane. And so you really see how the power of community come together to really resolve a thing. And I think considering what we've been through, dealing with the pandemic, and how us as a community has had to come together and help those in need, I think it's a very strong reflection of that.
I didn't grow up seeing people who look like me on stage or in TV films. So like, that's my favorite part about this show, is that it's very inclusive, and you get to talk about real problems and real life problems, but it's you don't realize it as much because it's such a fun show.
The most important thing I think this story has is about love. Love, love. There's not enough of that in San Antonio. There's not enough of it in Texas, the United States, and even the whole world. So if we can just love each other just a little bit more, that would make this world a whole better place. And this story is the epitome of love.
For show dates or for more information on this production, just head to KSAT.com. Alexis Page, KSAT 12 News.
And it's 9:46. I looked behind Justin. There's a picture of an airplane. I know some people are trying to fly out of the area, maybe north, in hopes of some relief, but even some of the cities up north are
got a good point.
Experiencing extreme heat.
New York, Boston, all under heat advisories. The whole country is baking at this point. But this picture is actually from our own meteorologist, Sarah Spivey.
Oh, okay.
Who flew back in yesterday. And what she wanted to point out was the dust in the atmosphere. You can actually see a little bit of it.
Sure can.
It's a little hazy. We've had another small area of that Saharan dust move in just within the last day or so. It's not very thick. It really hasn't affected air quality that much. But from the plane, you can kind of see that a little bit of haze that is there. And then I think by tomorrow, any dust that is there will start to move out. And we'll get a little bit better air quality going into the weekend. Temperatures for today. This is today's forecast. 102 here in San Antonio, 104 San Angelo. I mentioned it's a little cooler today. It will be a little bit cooler up across parts of North Texas and Oklahoma. Some relief for those folks. A little bit of a frontal battery coming in, and that's helped to create some showers and storms, but also bring that cooler weather. Look at the rain that's just sort of sitting there along the Red River. I wish it were, 300 miles south. We could get some of that here. That would be great, but it is staying to our north. Showers up across parts of Oklahoma and North Texas, and that's where they'll stay. You see the cloud cover, though. We do have clouds this morning. Those morning clouds have been sticking around for at least a little while, and I think they'll be around another couple of hours here. The longer they hang around, the better that is for our temperatures. They can't start racing upwards with those clouds in the sky. 82 degrees right now. South-southeasterly winds at about 13. Feels like 87, so it's still pretty humid out there. 85, New Braunfels 86, in Gonzales 82, Hondo 82, Carrizo Springs 83 right now in Del Rio, and basically 80s, low 80s to go around. Dew point trend today, just like yesterday, falls, but falls into the low 60s, so the heat index should be anywhere from 102 to 105. It's still not fun to be outside. It's a little better than yesterday, but still a problem. 103 New Braunfels, the forecast high today, 103 in Seguin. It'll be 102 in Gonzales. We may see some slightly better numbers up across the hill country today, and by better I mean upper 90s versus triple digits. Those clouds start to fade away by 11 o'clock, 91 noontime. We'll get some gusty southeasterly winds today. Temperatures up around 102. That is 2 degrees cooler than yesterday. 96 by 8 o'clock, 92 by 9 p.m. Here is the current setup, and you can see the heat advisories. I mentioned they've got those posted for the East Coast now, too. So the heat stretches from basically desert Southwest through Texas, across the South, and then up the East Coast. This high pressure that has been resulting in all of our really hot temperatures, or help create all these hot temperatures, starts to kind of split a little bit. And we see the eastern half take over, and this starts to move a little bit east. That opens up the door to the Gulf of Mexico. Sometimes we can get little disturbances coming in from the Gulf, not necessarily tropical storms or anything like that, but just pieces of energy and a little bit of moisture mixed in there too. That could be enough to give us some rain chances by the middle part of next week. As of right now, we're putting in a 10% chance. It's not a great chance, but we're looking for anything here, anything that will give us a little bit of a change and maybe a few drops of rain. Temperatures still triple digits all the way through that 7-day forecast, guys.
Very consistent, at least.
Very consistent, unfortunately.
Thank you, Justin.
Yeah. It's about 10 till 83 degrees.
And when we come back, we'll look at Jordan Peele's newest movie that comes out in theaters tomorrow.
Our monarch population has declined by nearly 90% over the last 20 years, and that's mainly because of habitat loss. I'm Sarah Acosta. Coming up tomorrow on GMSA, what is being done across our country to save our monarchs?
And another reminder about the House committee hearing tonight regarding the attack on the Capitol begins at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 our time. You can watch it right here on KSAT 12, followed by the Night Beat.
We'll also have a full recap of today's testimony tomorrow morning on GMSA.
Well, coming out in theaters this weekend, Jordan Peele's new movie, Nope.
His movies are always suspenseful with a deeper storyline for viewers and a touch of humor.
CNN's Rick Damigella gives us a look at the movie, but don't worry, there are not any spoilers.
What's a bad miracle? They got a word for that.
Following on the successes of Get Out and Us, Jordan Peele's latest movie is all about Nope, we're not going to spoil a thing about Nope, and neither are Peele and his cast.
The audience can go, have an escapist, big blockbuster time, and then come out and have a conversation about it. I think that's all I can ask for. And I think the conversation about this film is about spectacle and how human beings are addicted to spectacle.
Bro, what you see?
Something above the clouds. That's big.
How big?
Big.
When I got the opportunity to work on this, I just knew it was going to be a totally different experience. Having seen Get Out and Us and become increasingly a bigger fan of just all that he's capable of.
Nope reunites Peele with his Get Out star.
He's got more confident, but I think yeah, that's to be expected because in every first-time filmmaker, every time I experience them, they don't really believe that they're going to make a film again. Because why would you think that? You just think this is the last thing you're going to make. So I think now you're meeting on number 3. He knows he's making number 4. And if he's not, that's his choice. I need y'all to tell me, what did you see in that cloud? Or is not what you think?
Keeping you spoiler-free in Hollywood, I'm Rick Damigella.
We have this incident on TransGuide right now. This is coming in from Castroville into San Antonio on the far west side out there in West Bexar County. Eastbound 90 at Montgomery is stacking right now. We are told this is due to some barrier work in that area.
And it's 83 right now, so we're not warming up as quickly as we have last couple days, thanks to some cloud cover. Still, I think with some sun this afternoon, we make it up to around 102.
Okay.
And earlier in the newscast, we had a story about the teacher shortage with one of our reporters, Camelia Juarez. You can catch that online at KSAT.com.
Yeah, we wanted to mention that because we had to go to ABC for breaking news. President Biden, if you haven't heard, has tested positive for COVID. The White House says he is experiencing very mild symptoms, and we'll have more on the president testing positive coming up in all our later newscasts.
Yes, we also don't know anything about the First Lady at this time, but again, like Mark said, we'll check in at noon. Have a great day.